I'm going to ask somebody to come here because I'm going to close this out. Nathan, do you have any cash on you right now? Like a couple of dollars? You do? Can you bring it up here for just a second? I'm going to show y'all something. This is going to bless you. I'm going to give it back to you. So Nathan just gave me, $1. I'm good. He says 30. I don't recall that, Nathan. That's manipulation. I'm going to hell. Okay. Nathan gave me $30. Okay? You may not own a physical building where you have a company, but God has given you provision to have $30. But you want to own a business, and you think that the sort of business you should have is to take your 30 and go open up something. But what if God took you from what is familiar to you? We've been talking about going from what is familiar to the unfamiliar. When you think about Abraham, Father Abraham, he had lots of things, but God called him out from what was familiar to unfamiliar. So for you right now who has a desire to be the boss, a desire to be the president or CEO of an organization, whatever that is, perhaps God says, I want you to be the CEO of your money. Your business is your money. And the wisdom that I give you, if you listen to it, will show you that $30 can represent 30 employees. How can $30 represent 30 employees? Each dollar, if you put it in something that will grow, it's going to work for you. Oh, that's worth the whole trip over here. Some of y'all ain't gonna get this. Some of you have put your money in things that don't grow. You've been taught to have a savings account, a checking account. You've been taught all of these sort of things in public schools about an economics 101. But what economics 101 done in public school is to train you to continue to be a slave to the system. What they do is when you take your $30 and you put it in a savings account, and it's important to save, but then there's another layer, another level to this. But when you give the bank $30, the bank can now take your $30 and turn it and borrow 10 times. For every dollar, they can borrow $10 from the Federal Reserve. What is the Federal Reserve? I know that's deep for y'all. What is the Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve is like the wholesale distributor of cash. And so banks, financial institutions, buy the cash from the Federal Reserve. They get the cash at low interest at about 2%, depending on where the prime is and all that good stuff. But they get it. In other words, they get it wholesale. They become the middleman. So now the way they can get the cash from the reserve is by having you deposit your money into their bank. So for every dollar you have in their bank, they can now go and use your money or leverage your money to go and get more money from the Federal Reserve. Now, what do they take with the money that they have now? They now look for things to increase it. They look for people to lend it to. There's different sides of it. There's a commercial side, there's a retail side. The commercial side are people who build businesses. That's why when you come up with a business plan or whatever, sometimes they reject it even though it's real good, because they don't want you to have access to that. Because if you have access to understanding what you can do, then you will no longer be a slave to the system. But where they will give you money is on the retail side. It's called consumer credit. So their interest rate that they charge is anywhere on the commercial side to the retail side, anywhere from 5 to 29% interest on the money that you let them use. And then your little savings account that they told you to have a savings account, you might get 0.02% interest. And I'm not talking about 2%, I'm talking about 0.02%. That's not even a whole percent. That's like 1/5%. Your money, they take it, you still have it there, they go get more money, they won't even give you a loan, but they're leveraging your money, and then they continue to tell you that's where you need to put it. The wisdom of God says, have a savings mindset, but there are people who have sent to you to show you how to invest it so that it will multiply 10%, 15%, 9%. 5% is better than 0.02%. My people perish for lack of knowledge. You want to be rich? Realize that greater is he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. But you have to be a hearer and doer of the word.